Okay, one of the things I want to call out is these women who pretend they are supportive of their race when they're really only supportive of the women in their race. They're actually anti-male. In this case, Savvy Sabs. 300,000 black women jobless. Why isn't it 300,000 black people? Why? Because the men don't, it's not that they lost those jobs. The men didn't have any. These black women, because they're women, were given free rides by the government. They're given free jobs. And when the belt needs tightening, they get tossed, right? And this is a problem to this woman. Well, let's hear this.
Gotta pay attention to this. This cannot be ignored. Terrifying reasons 300,000 Black women lost jobs in 2025. So, this is a big story that we did try to warn people about. Over the past 3 months, nearly 300,000 Black women have been pushed out of the workforce with.
Well, you tried to warn it to your sisters. To me, this is good. They got rid of the deadwood. They got rid of the deadwood. Before Savvy goes on, I just want to point out, look at this photo here, right? Elon Musk, when he first took over, he needed to cut the deadwood out. There's a picture. There's a majority of white women. There are different colored skins, but most of them are white women. And then when he cut off all the deadwood, there was just guys left because guys earn their place. And the women are given free jobs. So this is a male female thing. This is a gendered issue. This has nothing to do with their race.
518,000 who never returned to the force after the pandemic. There it is again. Pandemic. I told you, right? So,
yeah, the pandemic, I know at least a couple jobs around my area that closed down. It destroyed them. It tightens the belt, so they have to get rid of the deadwood. So they either let the business go down or they get rid of the surplus females that are leeching off it.
let's talk about the fact that some of these employees, they worked for businesses that either no longer exist because they couldn't stay in business during the pandemic. Maybe they were in the state that was locked down, so that impacted a lot of businesses, especially a lot of small businesses. I know here in Massachusetts, in particular, the
So these businesses closed down and it affected black women. Again, in other words, the black men weren't hired in the first place. This woman doesn't give a shit that black men are jobless. It's only when her sisters are being affected.
restaurant industry took a big hit during the pandemic. If you were in a state that was under lockdown, so there were a lot of restaurants that have closed, etc. So you still have people that lost their jobs during the pandemic. So that's one part of the discussion. And then there is this part. Now, with federal layoffs, DEI
Federal layoffs. In other words, the government were giving these women, free rides.
rollbacks and structural inequities at play, it's a quiet crisis that speaks volumes. When the budget gets tight, Black women are the first to go. This has all.
Well, it's not just the black women. That's why I brought up Elon Musk. It's white women too. Well, actually, she's right. Black women are the first to go, but white women will follow, right? Men want women around and they're willing to give them freebies to keep them around. So when the tight belt does get tightened, the black women go first. Right. I agree with that.
Always been the case, though. This isn't new. What is new is the federal layoffs. Now, as I told you guys before, a lot of the DEI mainly applied to white women. And we've gone.
Thank you for admitting that. Mainly applied to white women. That's right. Because DEI isn't about race. DEI is women taking free jobs from men. That's what it is. Think of how many men could have had those jobs. Did he replace them with men? No, there's fewer men than women in this picture. So these women were given free rides. Men are not given free rides.
Gone over the data with that. But the federal layoffs, this is the one that I tried to give people a big warning about.
Again, when she says people, she means women because it doesn't affect the men. The men were never employed in the first place.
Because, let me pull this up here. Sorry. I think it went too far. I don't know why it does that. I hate how they do this. Get rid of that. Okay. Because when we're talking about the federal jobs.
Right. Federal. Right. So this is basically a welfare program for women.
I think what people have to remember, and my family.
Men have to join the military. The military is a welfare program for men. Women get free government jobs. Who's getting the better deal?
I can speak from experience about this, especially in that Maryland, Virginia, like DC, the D.
Yeah, let's get ahead of this because right here is also important. Let's see. I got a time stamped 1512. Let's stop right here. Get up here.
This is what I was trying to warn people about. Those jobs. Now, they also mentioned DEI too, but like I said, a lot of those DEI positions impacted white women, but
right. White women, right. Women in general. White women get it first, then women of color, and the men aren't there at all. Right.
Listen to the video here where they also break down.
Once in a while, maybe they'd give the odd black man or gay man a freebie. But this is an excuse to give to women.
Those numbers.
To the economy now, where staggering numbers have been released surrounding black women in the labor force. A new report shows more than 300,000 black women have left the workforce in just the last several months. That's according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Joining me now is gender economist Katika Roy to break this all down and why they're leaving. Katika, thank you so much for being with us. You recently wrote an article where you say that this isn't happening by accident. Why do you think it is happening?
This is happening because of cuts to public sector positions. So if you look at
public, in other words, these women aren't grinding away in the private sector, are they? Because they'd have to work and compete. Not interested in that. They don't have the talent for it.
At the federal labor force.
Sabby, did you ever consider that these women just aren't skilled at anything important?
Black women make up just over 12% of the federal labor force. It's about double their representation in the labor force overall. And when you have targeted cuts up to 50% in organizations such as the Department of Education and HHS, you're not just trimming the fat, you're actually cutting the economic backbone for Black women.
Wow.
Wow. But so the economic backbone for Black women is the fat. Did you hear what she admitted to? They're trimming the fat. So the Black women were living off the fat of the land. They were getting freebies from the government. So men's taxpayer money, was going to employ women, who weren't worthy of employment. Can you imagine that? If you're a man struggling, you think, oh, there's where my tax dollars are going. To give welfare to women.
Pause here. Did you hear what you just said? Our representation in those federal jobs is double. It was double our percentage.
Wow. You were really getting freebies. So why are you so pissed off, so sad, savvy? Because basically you should have been happy. You should be saying, wow, it's too bad we lost the gravy train. We were getting a bunch of freebies that we didn't deserve.
I know. Red Six says gender economist. I thought about that too. I was like, there's a gender economist?
Yeah, the black women go first, but they'll keep the white women around as long as they can. So they invented a job title to keep this woman employed in an easy job. That's also where men's tax dollars going for, too, right? This woman is deadwood. Right now, some guy is working a hard, grinding job that's very necessary to society, and this woman's getting a freebie. So, what is your complaint? Well, you're a black woman, therefore you're affected. You're not living off the fat of the land anymore. Meanwhile, your black brothers, screw them. Who cares if they were unemployed from the beginning, right? I'm telling you guys, there's no such thing as a black community. It never was. The sisters dump you as soon as they can. Anyway, I spit on this. The fact that Sabby Sabs would make this crime video over black women not getting a free ride. Let them get out and walk. Hey, Sabbies, you know what? These women, they'll either get on welfare, which men have a hard time getting, or they'll get a boyfriend. Unemployed black men don't have that option, do they? They can't get a girlfriend to look after them. So I don't care about these black women losing their free rides. Actually, I'm going to correct myself. I do care. I'm glad they're not getting free rides. I'm glad, like, this is one of the best photos ever, right? All these leeches being kicked off for men who actually earn their spots there. Trust me, this is not a black issue. This is a men's issue. Anyway, we'll end it here.